The Peloponnesian War, which lasted from 431 to 404 BCE, was a nearly 3-decade-long conflict between Athens and Sparta that reshaped the Greek world. It led to the fall of the Athenian Empire, the rise of Sparta, and long-term instability in Greece. In this video, we'll break down the causes, key battles, and consequences of this war. The roots of the Peloponnesian War go back to the aftermath of the Persian Wars, which spanned from 499 to 449 BCE. Athens emerged as the leader of the Delian League, a coalition of city-states formed to defend against Persia. Over time, Athens turned this league into an empire, using its navy to exert control over its allies. Meanwhile, Sparta led the Peloponnesian League, a coalition of land-based powers including Corinth and Thebes. As Athenian influence grew, so did tensions between the Greek city-states. Many in the Peloponnesian League, especially Corinth, viewed Athenian expansion as a direct threat. In 432 BCE, Athens imposed the Megarian Decree, a trade embargo against Megara, one of Sparta's allies. This act, combined with other diplomatic disputes, pushed Sparta to issue an ultimatum: Athens must back down, or there would be war. Athens refused, and in 431 BCE, hostilities officially began. The first phase of the war, known as the Archidamian War, which lasted from 431 to 421 BCE, is named after the Spartan king Archidamus II. Sparta's strategy was to invade Athenian territory, while Athens relied on its navy to raid Spartan lands and maintain its empire. The war began with a Spartan invasion of Attica, the region surrounding Athens. Knowing they couldn't defeat Sparta in open battle, the Athenians followed the strategy of Pericles. They withdrew behind the long walls, relying on their navy to import supplies and harass Spartan territory. However, in 430 BCE, a devastating plague broke out within the crowded city. The disease killed nearly a third of the Athenian population, including their leader, Pericles. Despite this setback, the Athenians continued to resist. In 428 BCE, the island city of Mytilene attempted to break away from the Athenian Empire, but Athens crushed the revolt. In 425 BCE, the war took a dramatic turn when the Athenians won a decisive victory at Pylos, capturing a group of elite Spartan warriors at Sphacteria. For the first time, Sparta faced the humiliation of losing its soldiers in battle rather than dying in combat. However, Athens' success was short-lived. In 422 BCE, both sides clashed at the Battle of Amphipolis, where the Spartan general Brasidas and the Athenian general Cleon were both killed. Without strong leadership, Athens and Sparta grew weary of the conflict, leading to the signing of the Peace of Nicias in 421 BCE. The treaty was supposed to last 50 years, but tensions never truly disappeared, and the war would soon resume. After a brief period of peace, Athens made a fateful decision. In 415 BCE, it launched a massive expedition to Sicily, hoping to conquer the powerful city of Syracuse, an ally of Sparta. The campaign was championed by the ambitious Athenian general Alcibiades, while his counterpart Nicias warned against it. The expedition began with high hopes, but almost immediately, things went wrong. Alcibiades was recalled to Athens to face charges of sacrilege, but instead of returning, he defected to Sparta, offering them strategic advice. Without his leadership, the Athenian commanders struggled to coordinate their forces. The Syracusans, reinforced by the Spartan general Gylippus, launched a strong defense, and soon the Athenians found themselves trapped. In 413 BCE, the Athenian fleet attempted to escape but was completely destroyed in the great harbor of Syracuse. The surviving Athenian soldiers were captured and either executed or sent to die in the stone quarries of Sicily. This disaster marked one of the worst defeats in Athenian history, crippling its military strength and morale. With Athens weakened, Sparta pressed its advantage. In 413 BCE, following Alcibiades' advice, the Spartans occupied Deceleia, a strategic stronghold near Athens. This allowed them to block vital supply routes and keep constant pressure on the city. At the same time, Sparta formed an alliance with Persia, which provided financial support to build a navy capable of challenging Athens at sea. The Athenians, despite their losses in Sicily, managed to recover and achieved several naval victories. However, internal struggles in Athens threatened its stability. In 411 BCE, a group of oligarchs temporarily overthrew democracy and established the Council of 400, though the democratic faction eventually regained control. The war reached its climax in 405 BCE at the Battle of Aegospotami. The Spartan fleet, under the command of Lysander, caught the Athenian navy off guard and destroyed nearly all of its ships. With no navy left to bring in food and supplies, Athens was completely cut off. In 404 BCE, after months of siege, Athens finally surrendered. The Spartans forced the Athenians to tear down their long walls, marking the end of the war. The Peloponnesian War drastically changed Greece. Sparta emerged victorious, but the conflict had drained its resources. Athens, though defeated, would eventually regain some of its former influence, but it would never again dominate the Greek world as it once had. With Athens weakened, Sparta imposed an oligarchic government known as the 30 Tyrants, though it was overthrown within a year, and democracy was restored. Meanwhile, Persian influence in Greek affairs increased, as the Spartans had relied on Persian gold to win the war, but Sparta's dominance wouldn't last long. Within a few decades, it faced new challenges from Thebes and other Greek states. Most importantly, the war left all of Greece vulnerable. Decades of conflict had weakened the city-states, making them easy targets for a rising power to the north, Macedon. In the 4th century BCE, Philip II of Macedon would unite Greece under his rule, paving the way for his son Alexander the Great to create one of the largest empires in history. The Peloponnesian War was more than just a battle between Athens and Sparta. It was a turning point in Greek history. It demonstrated the dangers of prolonged warfare, internal division, and shifting alliances. In the end, while Sparta won the war, all of Greece paid the price. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more historical deep dives. What war should we cover next? Let us know in the comments below.